training chapter, कदाच यहाँ थोड़ी कर कॉपी थोड़ी देर बात करते you can share, the family can share. Yeah, but see, good share to share. ये भी है. चल आओ यहाँ. ना बराबर. वो आए तो बोलना है ना कि बस कॉपी दे देना. ते बोलो પછી હું ઓછું વસ્તુ કરું.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. So, namaskar to everyone. So for this 5 days, we are going to talk on the value of values. This will be in reference to the values given in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There Lord Krishna talks about 20 values. These values are actually the state of mind. That kind of mind is required for knowledge. I will say that that kind of mind which is full with those values is required not only for knowledge, but it is required for a peaceful life, a life which we can enjoy. So, with reference to that, we'll be talking about the values. Let me tell you that the universe which we live in is a very beautiful creation. It is the most systematic, most organized, most intelligent, and most meticulous creation. There is absolutely no lacuna or manufacturing defect that you can at any time find in this creation. No wonder that even intelligentsia, they keep on wondering at this creation. See, there are many kinds of laws of different fields on which or upon which this creation is based. Any good thing is sustained by certain laws. So this creation is also based upon certain laws. There are laws of physics, laws of chemistry, biological laws. There are many kinds of laws which we are aware of. To give you or to name a few, there are laws of physics such as gravitation, then Archimedes' law, thermodynamics laws, laws of polarity, rhythm, motion. So many such laws are there. These laws are already there. Scientists, they discover these laws, such as Isaac Newton. He discovered this law of gravity, which shows that there is this law of gravity in which this gravitational thing, it exerts its effect upon two objects. So these laws are there, they are already there. But when you deliberate upon that, then you discover. And you find that these laws bind or sustain the entire creation. Just as these laws are there of physics, chemistry, etc., there are also moral laws as well as these laws of ethics, which scriptures call as dharma. Dharma is something which are ethical or moral laws which upholds this creation. So, what is this dharma? That is why it is said dharanat dharmaha. That which upholds, that which sustains is called dharmaha. Dharayati iti dharma. That which upholds is dharma. What is this dharma? That which acts as a basis for harmonious running of this creation. That is dharma. And it is this which keeps the creation together. And therefore, it is very, very necessary that we should have knowledge of these laws. Unless and until we know these laws, we are not going to abide by that. Just as there are laws of the country, laws of government, traffic rules are there, so many such laws are there. We will abide or comply by these rules and regulations and these laws only when we are aware of them. And supposing we are not aware of them, or even when we are aware of them, if we violate them, what will happen? If we violate the rules of traffic, supposing, then we will have to pay for it. We will have to pay the penalty. Similarly, when you violate these laws, you pay for it. And therefore, it is very, very necessary that we first know the laws and abide by them. It is not for obliging others, but it is for our own benefit, or our own good. Let me tell you another thing, that these laws are not apart from Ishvara. According to Vedas, according to our scriptures, I think you all very well know that this creation is nothing but Ishvara himself. Upanishads, they declare that Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. All this is nothing but Brahman. Brahman means Ishvara. So our concept, our vision of Ishvara is not something that Ishvara is somewhere else and creation is somewhere else. We don't think that Ishvara is sitting somewhere and creation is somewhere, and sitting above he rules the creation. No. Vedic vision is what? That Ishvara himself is the creation. The maker himself is the made. The creator is not different from the creation. He is both the creator as well as the creation. This is something very amazing. In our vision, Ishvara is everywhere. Do not think that anything is bereft of Ishvara. Every particle of grain, of sand, or anything, take anything in this creation is nothing but Ishvara. So, even the laws, even dharma, which upholds the creation, which sustains the creation, is also by the same token what? Nothing but Ishvara. So Ishvara is not apart from the laws. Laws themselves are made by Ishvara, and he himself is the laws. So dharma is also nothing but Ishvara himself. And therefore, when we live according to the laws, when there is dharma in our life, what does it mean? When we comply by the laws, what does it mean? That we are in tune with Ishvara. We are in fact with Ishvara. In fact, we touch him. In fact, we are in tune with Ishvara. And when we violate the rules, what happens? Who are we going against? Tell me. We are going against the very Ishvara, because he himself has made the laws and he himself is the laws, you know. So, in complying or being in tune with these laws is being in tune with Ishvara. Okay. But Swamini, what is this dharma? Supposing there is a question, then we will give a very, very pragmatic understanding about this dharma. It is common sense ethics. Nobody needs to go to university or schools and educate themselves to know this dharma. Let me show you how. The basic dharma is that I want to live happily. I want to live happily. Tell me, who doesn't want to live happily? Everybody, but everybody wants to live happily. And I don't want anyone to come in my way of happiness. I don't want anyone to pose as an obstruction to my happiness. This is what I want. Every human being every being in this creation also has the same desire. Just as I want happiness and I don't want you to take it away from me, plus help me in acquiring this happiness, similarly, you also want happiness and you also do not want me to snatch away your happiness. Who doesn't know this? Who doesn't know this? Even a person living in the countryside, or even if he is a tribal person who has never gone to school, not to talk about university, etc., he also knows this. That I want happiness. Just as I love happiness and I want it, you also love that. And you also do not want anyone to take it away from you. So, the dharma is that what I want and what I expect from you is dharma for me. What I expect from you, that you treat me well, you be honest with me, you help me in my happiness, becomes my dharma to extend the same to you. Understood? And what is adharma? What I don't want from you, listen this carefully, what I don't want from you becomes adharma for me. If I don't want you to say lie to me, I do not speak lie to you. So speaking lie becomes adharma. I want you to speak truth to me, so dharma becomes truth for me. I don't want you to speak lie to me, so what does it mean? Adharma, speaking lie becomes adharma for me. So in short, what I want you to do to me becomes do's for me. And what I don't want you to do to me becomes don'ts for me in my behavior. Understood? This is simple. You got it? So, this is something which everybody knows. Even a murderer, let me tell you, even a murderer or a veteran hitman, even he, what is his desire? That his team and his party members should speak truth to him. Whose expectation is this? A murderer's expectation is that his people should speak truth to him, never cheat him. But when it comes to his behavior with others, he cannot do that. Why? So you understand, this, for me to expect good from you, in that I am very consistent. In that I am always consistent. Be good to me, be truthful to me, never hurt me. All that, in that I am always consistent. But when it comes to my extending the same to you, if it suits me, I will be truthful to you. But if it doesn't suit to me, when my self-interest, when I have certain personal agenda, and if they are not met with by speaking truth, then I will have no second thoughts in compromising with speaking truth. Understood? Why? Because in expecting from you is okay. I follow the value of speaking truth. But when I have to do that, there are certain other considerations. There are many personal considerations which come in the first burner. And if it is not beneficiary to me by speaking truth, then I will easily compromise that. But if we do that, if we defy these rules, tell me, shall we go away with impunity? Can we defy these rules? These are the laws. I explained to you what is common sense dharma. If we do not live according to that, can we bypass the consequences? It is here that we have to learn. It is here that we need to understand that we cannot, under any circumstances, bypass or defy these laws with impunity. We may violate the laws, but don't think that I will escape without penalty. Don't ever think that I will escape without facing the consequences. See, if we know this very well, there will be no one who will violate the rules. But we think that we can escape. Here we cannot escape. Supposing even if there is red light and you go away, then you very well know that you will be getting the ticket once, twice, and I think it is like that. Then your license will be forfeited. If you extend the speed, then also you think that nobody is watching you. But then they come back, they come behind you, intercept you and make you pay the fees, threaten you. So here also you cannot defy the laws. In this Ishvara's creation also, there are these laws of cause and effect. When you go against the rules, when you go against the laws of dharma, don't think that you can escape. Sooner or later, it may not be immediate. It may not be immediate, but these laws are there. You will have to face the consequences. Effect, remember this, effect will always be in keeping with what? The cause. Effect will be always according to the cause. It cannot be the effect has no relation with the cause. Effect is in keeping with the cause. If you plant a mango seed, it doesn't happen that you get a lime tree. With mango seed you get mango tree only. There are these laws. Similarly, when I violate dharma, then I have to pay for it. Because this is not clear to us, we violate dharmas. As I said, when it comes to expecting from others, I am very clear that you should love me, you should never hurt me, you should always be helping me, be truthful to me. But so that value is there. That value for the value is there. Value for speaking truth is there. It's not that I do not know what is speaking truth, because I expect that from you. So that value is there. But when it is my turn to speak the truth, I may not. Why? Because by speaking truth, it is quite possible that I lose something. I lose something. And losing that thing is not affordable to me. And that is why, because the value for what I am going to lose, I will give you an example. See, supposing you want an object from me and I am ready to sell it to you. Then you will ask me, how much have I got to pay? I supposing I bought it in say $1,000. Then I should say the same, please give me, you have to pay me 1,000. But what do I say? I bought, what is the price of this? $1,500. I bought it in 1,000, but when you ask me and when I am going to sell it to you, what do I say? What do I demand from you? I bought it in $1,500. Why? Because that $500 are very important to me. Speaking truth is not that important. I have not understood the value of speaking truth. But I have very well understood what $500 mean to me. $500 are so important to me because money is power. Money means everything. I know that. Right from the childhood, I have been watching the society. I have been watching my parents. I have been watching my surroundings. And there I see that money buys. Moment you take out the currency and you get things. All this you have been watching. So that value for money is very well understood and very well assimilated. That much value I have not understood for speaking truth. And that is why when I am going to gain $500 more, I very easily compromise the value for speaking truth. This happens in our life every day. This is just simple one example. Because I think that $500 will give me so much. It will give me comfort. It will give me so many other things. And I value that. But I have violated. I have violated the law of speaking truth. Now tell me, can I go away with impunity? No. Moment I compromise this value and I take $500 more from you, I have taken it. But I know that I very well know that I have done something wrong. And so there is someone inside. There is someone inside who keeps on murmuring, who keeps on speaking that what you have done is wrong, wrong. You have spoken lie. You have spoken lie. You cannot escape this. And this becomes a very intense irritant. It is an irritant. It constantly nags me. It constantly keeps on speaking lie, lie, lie. Inside there is someone. Why? Because knower is one, doer is another. Did you understand? Knower is, there is this knower-doer split. Because I know, I have a value for truthfulness. That is what I expect from you. So I have that value for truthfulness. Parents have been telling me that speak truth. Teachers have been telling me, from scriptures also I learned that speaking truth is good. So that value is there. But I have not assimilated it. That has not become my value. I have been obliging others. Which value has become mine? Which one I have assimilated? Value for money. And that is why when these things came before me, that by compromise, by speaking a little lie, I will get $500 more, then I give up the value for speaking truth, and this $500 I take. I did that, but no one knows what? That I have done something wrong. I have gone against the laws. No one knows that. but the doer is different. Doer is different. This is going to make my life miserable. Immediately, a conflict has arisen. I know one thing and I have done another thing. They used to tell us the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Doctor was very educated and he had a different kind of status in the society. But there was someone, a devil inside. So he behaved in a different manner. So both are there. Similarly here, noble doer split is there. I know one thing and I do another thing. It happens in our life every day. We decide to get up at 4 o'clock. No one knows that it is Brahma Muhurta, best time of the day. You should meditate at that time, take Ishvara's name, we have value for that. But when it comes to waking up, we bang the alarm and then go back to sleep. But we know it. We know it. So it keeps always telling us, you are never getting up. You are never getting up. You are setting the alarm and never getting up. I know that I have diabetes. No one knows that. No sugar. Sugar is not good for me. But when it is right before Rasagulla is before me, then what happens? That knower may keep on saying, but the doer will do what it wants to do. Having done that, the knower will keep on speaking, wrong, wrong, wrong. I compromise the value, but it has created conflict in me. It has created guilt in me. I cannot escape. I cannot escape that guilt. I cannot escape that conflict. It keeps on constantly telling us, wrong, wrong, wrong. Duryodhana said this. Duryodhana, there is a very famous statement from Duryodhana. He said, Janami dharmam, nachame pravrittihi. I know what is dharma. I cannot follow it. Janami adharmam, nachame nivrittihi. I know what is adharma, but I cannot resist from it. Why? Kenapi devena rudistitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. There is someone inside. He guides me. Who is that someone? That someone is that mind which is the enemy. That mind, right inside that mind, that vritti is there which doesn't allow me to follow dharma. Why? Because the pressure for certain things, certain desires is so much that I compromise values. But it doesn't leave me. My point is that it never leaves us. One guilt, another guilt, third guilt, conflict, one by one, it all accumulates. Everything accumulates, and then I lose my peace of mind, I lose respect for myself. My life is no more enjoyable. I thought that with $500 I will have everything. It will buy me comforts. I will have comforts. Yes, but are comforts for the sake of comforts? Or, this is a very important point, most people miss this. Are comforts, think of this, are comforts for the sake of comforts, or are comforts for me? Peaceful me, happy me. For 500, I compromised. But then, with all those comforts that money can buy, I may have a big mansion. I may have 5 cars. I may have factories and whatnot, AC in every room and everything. But when I am not together, when there is someone who is constantly telling me what you have done is wrong, you violated that law, that law, that law, all that murmuring, all that someone is speaking inside, with that, can I enjoy an AC? Can I enjoy my mansion? I cannot. With every comfort around me, and still I am miserable. Otherwise, millionaires will be very happy, but not necessarily. Money or comforts are not for the sake of comforts. They are for me, and which me? Which me? That is why sage Yajnavalkya says a very important thing. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. He says it is for the sake of the self. It is for the sake of the self that everything is dear to me. It is because of the self that everything is dear. I thought that by compromising truth, by saying little lie, if I can get some money, some dollars, they will enable me to enjoy life. But that is where I make the mistake. There is someone inside who will constantly nag me, constantly tell me what you have done is wrong, what you have done is wrong, and that constantly irritates me. My peace is gone. There is already a split in me. Person is no more together. He is no more together. He is not integrated. He is not together. I have created a rift in me. I have divided myself into knower is one, doer is another. There are all the values in the brain. But when it comes to doing, I sacrifice them, I violate them for certain passing gains, for certain situational gains, for certain personal ends. I violate, transgress, compromise the values. And they don't leave me. They don't leave me. As I said, doing it once, twice, thrice, then what happens? It all accumulates. One becomes insensitive at the end of the day. You become thick-skinned. You are no more a human being. Human being is gifted with free will. Only he is given this free will. Rest of the creation do not have this free will. They do not have the freedom of choice. Do they have? They do not have. And that is why they are spontaneously in tune with nature. Animals and other beings, this inanimate world, nobody violates the laws. They are naturally in tune with the laws of the creation. There is nothing wrong done by them. But when it comes to human being, he is given this freedom of choice. He is given this free will. You may follow because he decides. Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyatha va kartum. I may follow the rules, I may not follow the rules. It is up to me. This choice is there. This freedom is there. But understand, this freedom, along with freedom, comes responsibility. Freedom is not given to abuse the freedom. Whenever there is freedom, understand there is more responsibility. Along with freedom comes responsibility. Not that I abuse and do whatever I like. You are given the brain, you are given free will for what? So that you help run this creation. You comply with the rules, comply with the niyati, the order that prevails in the creation. According to Ishvara, this is one cosmic body. This is one thing. It is just one body. Just as in this body, head is different, neck is different, fingers are, each finger is different. All these are different parts. But are they really different? All of them are meant for this one body. Supposing the mouth eats and then doesn't distribute. It eats and doesn't know, I will not pass into the pass it on to the stomach, and stomach will hold it and not pass it on to the rest of the body. Then tell me, how long is this body going to survive? Because each organ is selfish. Each organ wants to grab. Then what will happen to the body? Right leg wants to go this way, left leg wants to go that way. Imagine what will happen to the body. The whole body is one. Each and every organ works for the one body. Then and then this functions properly. Similarly, Ishvara has built this creation with this vision that it is one. Don't try to divide it. But human being with his ego, with his sense of individuality, misses this part and doesn't take the totality into consideration. He works only for his benefit at the cost of the samashti, at the cost of the entire universe. But can he really benefit at the end of the day? No. This one has to understand. He may think that he is very smart. I reaped so much of profit. I cheated them and made so much. But he is mistaken. Sooner or later, these laws will take care of themselves. Already in his heart, he knows that he is doing wrong. Nobody can escape this. There is this conscience who knows that it is wrong. I may pose as if I have helped you, but if my intentions are not good, then I am cheating you. You may not know, but I know that very well. I know that very well. And that will not let me sleep at night. That will create a conflict in me. Then, even if I gain everything, I have lost everything. I have everything around me, but I am not there to enjoy. If I am not happy here, if my mind is not happy, if my mind is not at peace with itself, then with all the comforts, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? They are all there, but I am lost. I am lost. So, when can we follow a value? We can follow a value only and only when I know the value of that value. That it is valuable to me. It is valuable for my well-being. When I know the value of value is valuable to me, understand this very well. Only then and then can I follow a value. I cannot oblige you for long. Parents teach children. In schools also we are taught. But unless I have assimilated that, and when can I assimilate? When it is very clear to me as to what I gain by following that and what I lose by not following it. This must be very clear, crystal clear. What I gain by following a value and what I miss by not following that. Unless this is clear, I will not follow it. See, value for money is very well assimilated. So there is no problem in compromising truthfulness, etc. for that. But the value of speaking truth, supposing in this example, is not that clear. So I compromise it. But once I come to know what I lose by speaking truth, or by speaking a lie, if I know that very well, that I have lost my peace of mind. If I know that, then my choice will be choiceless. In what sense? That I will never compromise. There will be no problem in following that value. Why? Because I know that if I speak a lie, I may gain something externally, but internally I am going to lose. I will lose my peace of mind. Life is no more enjoyable. Even day-to-day enjoyments I cannot have. So understood? When can we follow a value? When I know the value of that value is valuable to me. And in this, paying lip service doesn't work. We pay lip service. Yes, ahimsa should be there in life. Satya, ahimsa, all that. We pay lip service. But lip service means what? I have not understood the meaning of it. I'll tell you a story to illustrate this. There was a forest, and in that, in some trees, so many parrots were living. Then there was an old parrot. He one day saw a hunter coming this side. Hunter was coming, and he knew that he will throw the net and catch all the parrots. So he forewarned them. Hunter said, "Be careful, the hunter is coming." He told all the parrots, the child parrots, that hunter is coming, be careful. All the parrots started reciting, chanting, "Be careful, hunter is coming. Be careful, hunter is coming." All of them are repeating this. Be careful, hunter is coming. Even when hunter came and he descended the net on them, and they are caught in that and wriggling to come out, even then, what are they speaking? Be careful, hunter is coming. Be careful, hunter is coming. So they are listening to the words of the old parrot, but have missed the meaning of it. Similarly, we also repeat. We also know what is speaking truth and what is non-injury and what is all this. But we have not got into that. We have not assimilated that. I don't know what I will lose by compromising the value. Supposing I hurt you, then I think I can get away, but then I lose my relationship with you. You keep that in mind. You also, our relationship are now strained. By hurting you, I vented my anger out and I showed my superiority. I am greater than you, you are smaller than me, my status is different, you are different. I showed all that. But then what happened? What I have done is not correct. I have to face the consequences. In which way? That now you also keep a distance, plus that I have hurt you and that I have done something wrong, I know very well. The person is not in a position to speak back. But I know that I have been wrong. I have misused my power. It happens, all this happens. But I know that very well. I know it, and for that I will have to lose my peace of mind. If this is very clear, then ahimsa is possible. Otherwise, ahimsa is not possible. Non-violence is not possible. I do what I want to do. Only and only when I consider everybody that I am part of this creation, which is one. And what are the consequences which I face, which I will have to face when I violate these rules? Unless this is very clear, values will not be followed. So it is with reference to this that Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita talks about the values, because our life is nothing but expression of what our understanding is. I am nothing but what my perception is, what my understanding is. Our life is nothing but understanding of our value structure, whatever values we may have. If I value money, then I will go for it. If I value power, I will go for that. If I value my ego, I will assert that. And if I value the values, dharma, then my life will be nothing but expression of that. And that is why it is very important that we have correct understanding. And knowledge of Vedanta, knowledge of the self, calls for a mind which is pure, mind which has all the values, which is transparent. Only in such a mind, in a pure heart, just as Lord Rama says, in Ramcharitmanas, in Sundarakand, Lord Rama says, Nirmala mana mohe bhave. Lord Rama says very clearly, what I like is a transparent, pure, mature mind, free from all kinds of cheatings and which has no falsehood in it. This is that kind of a mind I like, which means that knowledge is possible. Knowledge of the self is possible only in such a mind. See, mind is like a mirror. Mind is like a mirror. What does mirror do? Mirror reflects me. Mirror is the medium in which I see my face because it reflects me. Now, supposing this mirror has cracks in it, or it is dirty or very muddy, then what will it reflect? What kind of image is it going to reflect? Very different. I cannot see it clearly. Similarly, mind is the instrument, mind is the faculty in which knowledge of the self is going to take place. Mind will reflect the self. If this mind is impure, if this mind has no place for values, then this mind cannot in any way reflect the self. That is why purity of the mind. That is why mind has to be, and laws will make you pure. These values like love, non-injury, speaking truth, and all the 20, Lord Krishna mentions 20 values, not less than 20 values. And he very emphatically says that he calls them as Jnanam. Etat Jnanam iti proktam. Ajnanam yadatonyata. He says, he calls these values Jnanam. Actually, they are values. But he gives them the name of Jnanam. Why? Because if these values are there, knowledge can take place. Knowledge may or may not take place. But if this, in the absence of these values, there is no way that knowledge can take place. And that is why we cannot dispense with these values. With an impure mind, which doesn't have these values, there is no way that that we can evolve, that we can have the knowledge of the self. And that is why he talks about the values. And these are, he gives a long list. When Arjuna asks him a question that what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is Jnanam, etc., then Lord Krishna mentions all this. He gives a list of 20 values which are absolutely necessary for knowledge of the self. I will say that not only for the knowledge of the self, keep aside knowledge of the self, but even for happiness in our day-to-day life, even in our relationship with others, with our close ones, in our transaction, in our interaction with our people, neighbors, friends, people whom we know at our workplace, etc. When can there be harmony? Only when these values are there. We want to be happy, but we don't know the value of these values. Happy we want to be, but we do not know the value of the values. And without them, nothing is possible. Even in our day-to-day life, we cannot be happy. So you understand the meaning of this, the importance of this value of the values. Unless we know the value of the values as valuable to me personally, I cannot follow them. It is with reference to this that we will be talking about the values one by one in our talks from tomorrow. You must be having this, or we will give you this. This is the copy here. See, chapter 13 begins with the question from Arjuna. He asks of Lord Krishna that Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam Evacha Etad Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Gneyam Cha Keshava. He asks of Lord Krishna. He says, I want to know about Prakriti, about Purusha, about Kshetra, about Kshetrajna, about Jnanam and Gneyam. So many questions he has asked. Then in reply to that is 13th chapter. And there Lord Krishna mentions this 20 values beginning from verse number, let me show you. We are not going to do the 13th chapter entirely. We are going to look into these values only. They begin from verse number 7. See, all the values begin from verse number 7 up to verse number 11. In this verses beginning from 7 to 11, Lord Krishna has given 20 values. Why? And he calls them Jnanam. Actually, it is not Jnanam, but Jnanam is not possible without these values. See, knowledge requires a framework. Knowledge requires preparation. Any knowledge for that matter, any knowledge requires a certain frame of mind. If I want to go in engineering, then I must have that kind of mind, that kind of orientation, that kind of preparation. We choose subjects, then only. Similarly, knowledge of the self also requires a certain kind of mind. If you have that mind, you have made it. And if you don't have that mind, you have not made it. Mind is your friend, mind is your enemy. There are no friends and enemies outside of us. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu, atmaiva ripuhu atmanaha. Lord Krishna says this. Your mind itself is your friend, mind itself is the enemy. Mind which is educated, which is trained, which is uplifted, in which way? With these values, with these attitudes, with karma yoga, with all this training. When the mind is made mature, only then and then it is ready for Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnanam is not something that you can, you remain what you are, you remain a selfish person and you gain knowledge. No, it is not possible. Lot of maturity is required. Lot of preparation is required. And our life is meant for that. There is no evolution without that. No evolution. And this human birth is meant for that. Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham. Of all the births, which is the rarest of the rare? Which is most rare? Durlabham. Which one? Human birth. It is only by lots of punyas, for meritorious deeds of past so many births. That is what you pay to get this human birth. Having gained all this, if we don't utilize it, then of what use is this? Then even animals and other species are living. They also eat, drink and make merry. Then what are we? How are we different from them? If dharma is not there, if we don't make efforts to change our mind, if we don't make efforts to uplift the mind, then we are no different from other beings. At least they are not doing anything wrong. They are in compliance with nature. Nature has made them that way. Whereas human being is given free will. Unless we know how to use this free will, it is quite possible that we will misuse the gift that is given to us. It is a rarest of rare gift. If we don't know how to use it, we will quite possible that in our narrow-mindedness, with our parochial attitudes, personal ends, we may misuse the gift given to us. See, the physical growth takes place on its own. Child is born, and he becomes adult. He is born, then he passes through certain stages, becomes adolescent, becomes young. We don't have to do anything much. Physical growth takes place on its own, but emotional growth doesn't take place on its own. For that, we have to take the initiative. You understand what I mean? For that, we have to take the initiative. It won't happen on its own. Otherwise, we may become old. We will become old. One day, age will catch up with us. But if we have not worked with our mind, with our nature, with our disposition, then we have grown old but not matured. We have the same problems. We feel bad, we are angry, we are greedy, we are this, we are that. That has not changed. Nothing has changed. Then what have we done? We left it to itself. Mind is left to itself. Nothing happens. So emotional growth will not happen on its own. This faculty called mind, this faculty called heart, we have to work with it. Lot of work is required. Lot of work, not ordinary work. Because there are certain tendencies already there. For past many births, we have brought certain samskaras. Certain tendencies are built in. Person is angry. He has that nature of getting angry all the time. Because that samskara is there. And he has not done anything about it. Not tried to change. Then what will happen? He has come with it. He lives with it, goes with it. And then again born with it. Because this is not the only birth. Again he is going to be born. What will he come with? Whatever is there stored inside. The tendencies, the samskaras which are there will manifest. But I am given a chance in this birth to do what? To work with myself and change my samskara. Is it not right? We are given that chance, and that we have to. Ishvara will not do on his own. Prarabdha will not do on its own. Purushartha is required. Hard work is required. To change a samskara is not easy. It's not easy. But we have to work with it. Assert ourselves. And then only we will be coming close to the self. All the values which we will talk about, will connect us with totality, will connect us with Ishvara. These values, all of them are nothing but Ishvara. So, once we understand them, then we will come to know that even though they are different 20 values are there, but in different situations, keeping different situations in mind, the different names are given. But actually they are all one, dharma. Nothing but dharma. And dharma means what? As I said, dharma means keeping the totality in mind and conducting myself. This creation is not only for me. Even you are there, everybody is there. Animals are there, plants are there, so many things are there. I have no business to trample upon anybody's rights. Hello? So it is with reference to this that we will be talking about each value tomorrow. Okay? So we will conclude here today. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Swamini, for such a nice beginning. And please try to come here.